So basically, this is how you can be able to own your own home with zero down payment. You can be able to customize your own deal according to what works for you. Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Wamboi. Today I am sharing very important information on rent to own and why this is an option that you should consider, especially if you are thinking about owning a home for yourself or for your family. Stay tuned until the end of this video, because at the end I have something that might interest you, and I feel that this is something that might work for you if you're looking to buy a home. So let's get right to it. There are different types of rent to own, but it all depends with the different developers or different sellers, but it all goes down to renting a house for a specific period of time with the intention of later owning it. So these terms usually depend with what you, the buyer, and the seller or the developer agree on. So this is why I was saying that this kind of home ownership can be customized according to what works for you, according to your income, or simply according to what the landlord requires. As I said, there are different types of rent to own, so I think we'll narrow it down to the major ones. We start with one, the lease option. So yeah, what does the lease option mean? The lease option simply means that you are allowed, or you have an option of buying the house once your lease agreement expires, or the end of your lease agreement. You can consider buying the house if you want to. You are not really it's not a must you buy it, so you can have an option of you can opt out, you can move to another house, or if you would like to own that particular house, you have that option of buying it off. So that's the lease option. The second one is the lease purchase. So for the lease purchase, you are obligated to buy this house, and this is binded by the contract that you got into. So yes, you are obligated, you are supposed to buy this particular house or property. So this is where I want us to talk about mostly, because there are different types of contracts for this particular lease purchase, and this usually depends with the agreement that you and the seller agreed on. So I will share the few examples that I have come across for the lease purchase, and the first example is where a down payment is required. So mostly the down payment that is usually required is from 2% to 10% of the purchase price, and then the balance is supposed to be distributed over a period of time. It can go even up to 10 years. Of course, the balance is going to incur interest, which you are supposed to be paying now over the period that is agreed. As I've said, it can go even up to 10 years. So you're going to be paying the balance as rent every month, and of course the monthly rent is going to be slightly higher than the normal rates for that area or for that particular house. So yeah, when it comes to the 10 years, you are required to have finished paying off the balance. Remember, it's required a down payment, as I've said, from 2% to 10% of the purchase price. So the second example for the lease purchase is where you pay rent of the house that you're interested in, and then the rent rate is slightly higher than the normal rate. So what happens is the excess is used as to credit your down payment. I don't know. So the excess, if you are paying, maybe I can use an example. If you're paying 50,000 and the normal rate is 20,000, so 30,000 goes to save up on your down payment for the buying or the purchase of that particular house. This can go for a couple of years. Remember, you have been saving up for the down payment. I'll call it saving up for the down payment. So after your period is over, it can go up to a couple of years, as I've said. After the period is over, you are expected to have raised the purchase price, the balance of the purchase price, and clear off or settle off your unit or your house. Yeah, so we go straight to another interesting one. That is the third example of the lease purchase. This is where zero down payment is required. 0% down payment. So here the number of years are usually a bit longer than the other ones. It can go even up to 20 years. and you are literally not required to put or to have any down payment to start off your home ownership, in this example of zero down payments on the lease purchase. And of course the interest will also be slightly higher than the rest, to be able to accommodate the fact that you did not pay any down payment, I guess. So yeah, the secret here is interest, but the fact that you are not required to have any deposit makes it very comfortable and convenient for most Kenyans, because most of us can be able to afford that. And what will be required is just for you to move in and you start paying your rent. There is also another small amount or small fees that you are supposed to pay, which usually just comes to it's like insurance and other payments like service charge, etc., before you get to start paying your rent and literally start owning your home. It is a credit facility, so we expect you to pay fees to facilitate your credits. But as I've said, it is still a very small amount of fees, not equivalent to a down payment. It is something that most people and most Kenyans can be able to afford. And of course, as usual, the rent is going to be slightly higher than the normal rates for that particular area. There are options of offsetting or clearing your balance, but of course this one depends with the agreement that you have with the developer or the seller. And of course it's likely to work better for you if you're able to offset it sooner. And as you've learned that rent to own has no set rules. Rent to own has no shoe that fits all, rather, if I can say that. It usually just depends on what you agree on with the seller, and of course if you realize that there is also room for negotiation on how you're going to be able to make your payments. And of course it has its advantages and disadvantages. I will start with the advantages. One of the advantages, minimum down payment is required. Even the 10% or 2% to 10%, still it is a minimum down payment required, unlike the mortgage. Another advantage is that you avoid the struggles, the pain and challenges of getting a loan from the bank. You also get to own a house with the initial agreed purchase price. So your house or your unit is not affected by inflation or change in market prices. You still you still get the advantage of buying the house with the initial price that you bought it at. However many years back it was same rates. And again, you avoid the high interest rates charged by banks. And we know how stressful that can be. As much as you're renting to own a property, you are still growing your equity. That is for sure, you're still growing your equity. And another advantage is that it is not, rent to own is not really dependent on your credit ratings. And you get to test a neighborhood or an environment or even that house before you buy it. So you still get to have a feeling of living in a house that you are interested to buy. For example, you get to understand the facilities of that area, you get to understand the amenities, the infrastructure, transport, neighborhood, etc. You get to understand it better before you officially own this unit. And of course, as I said, advantages come with disadvantages. So in rent to own, there is minimum room for backing out. You might end up losing your investments or rather your monies if you back out in the middle or if you are unable to pay. You might also be required to pay for your own maintenance and repairs during your stay, unlike a normal rental where all repairs and maintenance are done by the landlord. You might also be required to pay your rent on time, because this is not just rent, it is also installments or installments for purchasing your house. So there is no negotiation on that. You have to pay your rent on time. So it's better to think about it before you get into it. It's better to do your calculations properly. It's better to consult your family and make the decision when you when you know that it's really going to work for you, it's going to work with your income. Otherwise, yeah. And yeah, guys, I'm done. That is all about rent to own. I hope this video has been beneficial. I hope the information I've shared has been clear, and in case it's not, please reach out on the comment section. Reach out to me and ask me any question that you might have on rent to own, and I will be free to answer. Also, reach out on my social pages, that is Instagram wamboi.realestate, Facebook the same, wamboi.realestate. And again, remember when I said that I might have something that might work for you? This is it. These are 2-bedroom master ensuite apartments located in Rwaka town. Get in touch with the numbers below for more information on how to go about it and start your journey to owning a home today. We are offering the rent to own option. You can get to own a unit here with a minimum monthly payment of 62,000 Kenya shillings, and you can be able to pay it up to 20 years. I mean, that's something that you should consider if you are planning to own a home in Nairobi. If this video has been of benefit to you, remember to subscribe, like, and of course share this video. I mean, I want this information to reach as many people as possible, as many Kenyans as possible, to know that there are different types of owning homes than the usual ones that we're used to, the ones that are stressful. We all deserve to own homes. Remember what I usually say, that everything is possible with God. Create a need and God will provide. And we got